Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Millennial Smark, and I'm bringing you the slop, the whole slop, and nothing but the slop. Timestamps are down in the description box if you want to get directly into the review. While I'm still feeling this way, yo, let's have a bit of a chat real quick. Ain't nothing too diabolical, nothing too crazy. Just while I'm still feeling this type of way, I just talk about it real quick, right? Now, I feel like we have this conversation once every blue moon, but damn, bro, it's really starting to bother me a little bit, man. And I'm gonna get a little bit deeper into this. The whole argument and the whole conversation in regards to how people, feel about how you feel in regards to professional wrestling, it's getting really tiresome. If you like a product, right, and you see someone reacting to it, and that person is reacting to it negatively, why does that bother you? Like, you don't think to yourself, like, the way you feel about how that person feels about the product ain't as mentally ill as you ascribe to the person who's reacting in a way that they want to convey themselves to their audience. Like, you don't even sit there and think to yourself, have any type of self-awareness to recognize how fucking insane you sound, that you have such a problem. The fact that you're even emotional in any way, right? The fact that you feel some type of way about how another nigga actually reacts to something. Like, that shit ain't crazy to you? But you heard that 1,000,001 times already, right? I'm hoping at the very least, more beyond me. I want to go to it a little bit deeper though, right? Because it's kind of the same way of how I feel about politics nowadays. Whenever I see people talk about politics, I have to ask a question, like, straight up. Who's your mayor? Who's running your school board at the moment? Do you know anything about your local area before you sit here and try to talk to me, not even about your senator or your governor, let alone the fucking president? Do you even know your actual area as far as what the fuck is going on closer to home? Right now, the corruption within your own police department. But you sit here talking about BLM movements and police obstruction across the fucking country. Do you even know anything in regards to what you even fighting for? Now, I bring that up in a political sense because I see the same thing happening in professional wrestling. Like, you sit here and you tell me to enjoy professional wrestling, just enjoy professional wrestling. But with all due respect, I don't respect what you do. That's how I feel about professional wrestling nowadays, bruh. That's how I feel about professional wrestling. And it's not as if I'm taking something out of context and looking at it in a tribalistic manner. You get those types of, as I said before, hence the comparison, those political mind, it's almost to the degree of team sports, right? When you see a motherfucker talk about professional wrestling nowadays, where there's literally no in between. It's either they all, like, flat out automatically horribly fucking suck, or they're outright fucking awesome, right? And if you don't ascribe to the, oh my god, it's 100% dope, or it's 0, it fucking sucks, it's fucking terrible, that makes you a terrible person. See, at least for me, I like to think to myself that I'm a little bit more principled than that, right? Whether it's politics, which nowadays I consider myself more center-right than I have ever, period, point blank. I'm still on the right, but I consider myself more center. Because the more you start to dwell into things and the more you start to see your kids and you see your food and all that stuff, you put things into perspective and you try to at least flesh out what you feel is hitting close to home to you. That's how you should be looking at politics. Like I say, I focus more on my local area nowadays. I don't give any fucks about Trump or Biden or Harris or any of that shit, right? But even when looking at professional wrestling, I like to stay consistent, right? The things I grew up on were character developments, right? All this other stuff, but more broadly speaking, I want to see a TV show. I want a beginning, I want a middle, I want an end. And by the end, I want a reason to watch the show the following week or the following day. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. Keep me engaged with a main character. There's some side characters, and give me a purpose as to why I should tune in the following week. Sitting there and just fake wrestling, bro, that's not gonna do it for me. Choreographed bullshit, that's not just gonna do it for me. And I stay consistent. Hence why whenever I talk about these so-called 5-star matches, I don't give a fuck. Because how many 5-star matches do you need to see in order to feel satisfied at a certain point. Right? I see it all the fucking time. What I don't see is the creativity put into the match as to why it's even happening to begin with. I ain't going to Dragon Ball Z, and there's nothing that you can tell me as far as what I can remember in regards to Frieza and Goku fighting. I can't tell you any sequence of moves that happened within the fight, but I can tell you why the fight happened. I can tell you the dialogue during the fight. I can tell you the climax during the fight. I can tell you the conclusion of the fight, because that's all I care about in the end of the day, are the structures around the fight. Ain't no way I can sit here and tell you that, oh, I remember that kick to the stomach, I remember that Kai blast, I can remember this, I can remember that. Now there are specific things. I can remember the spirit bomb being done on Frieza and him surviving it. I can remember the Destructo disc from Frieza trying to throw it at Goku, and then Goku reversed it and to cut Frieza in half. I can remember Goku obviously turned Super Saiyan for the first time. All of these things are very relevant in my mind. But those are high spots, and those high spots happen for reasons. To sit here and think that I should focus on each individual move, and therefore if I don't like it, therefore I don't care about it, therefore it does not resonate with me and it's not relevant to me, therefore I don't give a shit about the match, therefore it's a bad match, and if you do that on a consistent basis, that makes it a bad show for me. If you can't understand that, then all I can say is that you're ideologically captured. No different than how people focus on politics when it comes to Democrats and Republicans, because I don't see you actually having a reasoning to care about that type of shit in regards to how it affects you, when you can see simple shit that's directly in front of your face. You talk about the border for an example and shit like that. You, motherfucker, living somewhere in fucking Kansas, why the fuck does the border bother you? Huh? Be real to me, why the fuck does the border bother you? Really, you personally. Not how you feel about it. It's cool to have an opinion. But to the degree where you're getting all hyped up and angry and all this shit in regards to, why do you feel so fucking bothered and hurt by the border? It's again, okay to have an opinion about people being murdered and shit like that. But to the degree where you gotta go out on the streets and you have to protest in regards to it being open or it being closed, why the fuck does it bother you personally on that level? Again, it's cool to have a fucking opinion. In the same logical way as to how I see wrestling fans. Why the fuck does another man or another woman's, why does any of that in regards to the opinions of that fucking subject bother you so much to the degree that if they hate it, now you feel some type of way about it? It's fucking sickness, bro. Get principled. If you like it, fuck with it. If you don't like it, don't fuck with the person who's going to say that they liked it, or vice versa. If you can't get that through your fucking head, how about instead of throwing out mental illness to the next person, you get your own fucking head checked? Holy shit, did that match go on for fucking ever. These people do realize they have 2 hours, right? They do realize there's so much you can get done within those 2 hours, right? Like, why are you wasting so much time on this? Like, get to the fucking point. Especially with how that finish turned out. It's the International Championship. I know it's Kenny Omega, but do all that fucking bullshit, fucking choreographed nonsense. Do that shit on the pay-per-view. Like, all that shit, doing it in the ring, like come on, bro. Get to the fucking point, especially when the finish ended up being the way it ended up. Like, come on now, man. The match in itself, it's everything that's wrong with AEW. Choreographed bullshit, stupid ass spots, silly ass spots, dumb ass spots. It's just for the sickos. Man, you know, I remember I talked to someone and they tried to bring up this argument like, well, Devontae, back in the days, you had Scotty 2 Hotty doing the worm, and you know, you had this and you had that and you had this. Okay, but bro, I was a fucking 9-year-old kid back then. I was like 10, 9, 11, 8 years old. Like, so what you're essentially telling me is that the product that AEW is putting out is for fucking kids? Is that what you're telling me? Because that's when I enjoyed the whole Scotty 2 Hotty, the worm, Rikishi doing the sting face. Back in the late 90s, early 2000s, I was fucking a preteen. I was an adolescent. Are you saying that the product that AEW is putting out is for kids with that argument? What happened to the whole we love AEW because they're not PG, even though WWE hasn't really legitimately been PG in years now? Huh? What happened to that fucking argument? Be consistent, okay? It's fucking stupid. It's fucking dumb. And if you bring up The Rock, I think the People's Elbow is fucking dumb also. But guess what? He got it fucking over. You know what's not gonna get over? Ricochet sitting in a cross-legged position, having a fucking slap battle with a fucking wrestler on an episode like Collision. You know what's not gonna get over, or at least it's becoming tiresome? Orange Cassidy in a serious match throwing weak ass kicks. Like there's gonna come a point where like that shit's gonna get super fucking annoying, right? It's gonna be really fucking stupid. Like, I don't know, who's the product for 18 to 49, right? Oh, Devontae actually there was 18 to 49 also. Okay, and guess what? It was dumb too. You want me to say it? It was fucking dumb too. Fuck, dude. The whataboutisms are so crazy, bro. Is it stupid or is it not stupid? All right, if you think it's not stupid, you think it's not stupid. But to bring up something else in comparison, just to deflect from the fact that this situation that I'm telling you is stupid, I'll call them both stupid if you want me to. Nevertheless, though, the finish, convoluted as fuck. And at first, again, I don't know what's with AEW having a great finish in the palm of their hands and then just fucking just ripping it to shreds. You had Speedball Crackhead Bailey hit a fucking backslide on Mark Davis, right? And then Ricochet slid in the ring, and then he ended up putting his feet on the ropes and pinning Mark Davis, unbeknownst to Speedball Crackhead Bailey. And it's like, that was a great fucking finish if you would have given it to Ricochet. Like, you should have just given it to fucking Ricochet, right? But no, instead, you had them having to muddy up the fucking waters for no fucking reason. Oh, now it's going to be, we just had a Fatal 4-Way match, and now you're saying we're going to have a triple threat match with Kenny Omega. It's so convoluted, bro. Just Ricochet versus Kenny Omega for the International Championship. Mike Bailey hasn't done a fucking thing in AEW. I don't give a fuck about Mike Bailey. He has no fucking character. That I will give credit where credit is due to Ricochet as far as his character development. I think he's cringe. I think sometimes he's still out of place, but at least there's effort, right? I wanted to see what could happen with Ricochet and Kenny Omega in a one-on-one setting, not because of the match in itself, but because of what could be built up going into that story. Instead, again, we throw a random wrench into everything, and now we have to have Speedball Crackhead Bailey in this match, and it's like, fuck, that was such a great finish. Ricochet, backslide pin, Bob's your uncle, you're good, it's awesome. Heel way to win the match, very unique. No, instead, you did exactly what you did to Christian when you had a great finish in the palm of your hands. You throw it the fuck away. For what? I don't fucking know. But yeah, that's going to be the match coming up at Dynasty. Speedball Crackhead Bailey, Kenny Omega, and Ricochet for the International Championship. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Whoop-de-fucking-do. And then we end up getting a bit of a promo package promoting the Hurt Business. Not sure whether or not they're going to continue anything, because I actually do want to see the development of MVP and MJF. I'm not sure if they're going to continue that tonight. Was this their way of saying, hey, we got the Hurt Business on the show, therefore we don't have to get them on the show anymore, because that's how AEW typically rolls. It's fucking dumb. It's fucking stupid. I hate their booking style. It is so lame. Really, let me not say that. That's not an AEW problem. That's a WWE problem too. They do that shit sometimes also. I hate that way, man. Structure your contracts better so you can get people on the fucking card when they're fucking needed. But nevertheless, though, I see False Allegation Starks having a match with Mercedes. See it out. Oh my god, I'm gonna blackball everybody in the fucking business because they said my weave is going past my hairline and they can see my bald spot. Oh my god. Hey, I gotta say though, she is getting a little bit thicker though, or am I tripping? Maybe it could just be the outfit. But whatever. Let's get to it. Mercedes, nay, and False Allegation Starks. There has to be an angle attached to this. There's no fucking way they're gonna have a full-fledged fucking world championship match with a gimmick attached to it in the middle of the fucking card. I'm not gonna get excited. And I mean that in a negative way. They're not that retarded. Tony's not that stupid. He's not that fucking dumb. There's an angle attached to this. That makes no fucking sense whatsoever. That makes no, Devontae, don't get hyped up. There has to be an angle attached to this. I'm just gonna keep it at that. I'm probably dead ass wrong. You know what? Probably dead ass wrong. There might be an angle attached to this. I'm waiting. I will wait. We had a gay ass Outrunners vignette. That's all you needed to know. We get to this match. with Mercedes Moné and Billy Starks. And the match in itself is whatever. I don't care, right? I like the finish, though. I'm not going to lie. The finish was actually pretty sweet. I like that. But this right here. Let me see if I understand this. Is her finish the 2-arm electric driver? It's kind of like the Omega's, what does he call it? The one-winged angel. But instead, she uses 2 hands instead. False allegation Starks. You need to have that move banned. If I'm Tony and I'm seeing her do that move, she gets a warning right now. If I was Tony, if she ever did that move ever again, I'm fining her. I'm fining her so much motherfucking money, she's gonna want to quit to go look for another job in order to make ends meet. What a fucking reckless ass move, and for what? What a reckless, stupid fucking move. She could have easily, I mean 1 baby dick inch, she could have broken Mercedes Moné's neck. She could have fucked that girl's spine up. And for what? For what? You're Billy fucking Starks. Okay, you are on ROH. You are not winning the match. I am so sick and tired of these wrestlers putting life and limb on the fucking line to get over what? To get over what? And if you connected the move, you know who's going to remember it? Abso-fucking-lutely nobody, because guess what? You're still losing the match to Mercedes Hogan, okay? Oh my God, my hairline is running wild all over you. Every woman, get ready to lay down for Mercedes Hogan. I'm just like Hulk, but I'm not the draw or the star power or the charisma or anything that means anything in regards to attraction. But guess what? Okay, you're gonna lay down for Mercedes. But come on, bro. That doesn't work for me, sister. You're gonna do all that just to fucking lose to Mercedes Hogan? Like, what a reckless, careless ass, fucking stupid ass move, bro. Holy shit. But like I said, outside of that stupid fucking move, I gotta say the finish was pretty cool. Now, again, Billy's still trying to get herself over with moves because that's how she's taught in the business, to get herself over, to be remembered by moves, which no one's gonna remember her for her fucking moves. She had a senton on an apron, and then Mercedes ended up crucifixing her off the apron, through the ropes, back inside the ring. She kicked out, kept floating her over, and then into the bank statement, or whatever the hell she's calling it. That was a cool finish. I like the finish a lot. Good on Mercedes, but goddamn, Billy Starks, holy shit, you reckless son of a bitch. Again, if she ever did that in my company, I will find the ever-loving shit out of her. But back to this. It's about to start right now. There's no way they're this fucking stupid. There's no way they're this fucking stupid. Let's get to it. Supposedly Edge versus Jon Moxley in their street fight match for the World Championship right now. Let's see. We're going to ignore Will Ospreay and AR Fox for a moment because I want to take some time to talk about this match with Edge versus Jon Moxley. So, first and foremost, let's just get this out of the way. It wasn't the main event. It wasn't. They had a full-fledged match for the World Heavyweight Championship with a Hall of Fame wrestler in the middle of the card. They did it. They actually did it. They had a World Heavyweight Championship match in the middle of the card. And it was a full-fledged World Heavyweight Championship match in the middle of the card. And I know you're going to get people coming out of the woodwork to make excuses for this. Your argument in regards to people start falling off by the end of the show, that's on you. That's on you to get the crowd hyped up, to get your audience at home hyped up enough to want to see the main event. You do promos, you have vignettes, you do interviews with the superstars, you do whatever you can to build the match up. You open up the show with a promo, you do whatever you can to get people hyped up for the main event. It's been the thing that's been going on throughout the history of professional wrestling. I don't want to hear any excuses. If You saying that you have to open up your show with one of your biggest matches on the card, or you having to mid-card your World Heavyweight Championship, all that tells me, if your excuse is, I don't want to put it in the end of the show because by that point people are tuning out your show, that tells me that you're admitting that you're a horrible booker. That's you telling me you're a horrible promoter. That's telling me you have no confidence in your ability to book a show correctly if you can't main event your World Heavyweight Championship. If that's your excuse, and there's no other excuse I could think of. Period. You shit on the status of a World Heavyweight Champion no matter what industry you're in, no matter where you're at. That is your main title. That's the main event. To do anything otherwise is to shit. Not just if you want to shit on your belt, that's one thing. We all know that the AEW World Heavyweight Championship has the prestige of two mices fucking and giving birth to a retard rat. But to sit here and shit on the actual prestige of what a World Heavyweight Championship is supposed to be, because you won't main event the championship belt that all your wrestlers in the company supposedly has their eye on, it's a disgrace, it's pitiful, it's despicable. And he should be ashamed of himself. Tony Khan should be ashamed of himself for mid-carding his World Heavyweight Champion. But put that to the side. That's already bad enough. They have the match. Edge and Jon Moxley. It's a stereotypical false count anywhere match. They start off the match outside. They do stupid shit throughout the arena. It is what it is. A random hardcore match, right? Probably have a little bit more energy to it, be a little bit more unique, if you will, if they didn't do this type of match every other fucking week with nobodies. But nevertheless, though, they do their match. Edge inevitably brings out his spike, right? His abyss looking 2x4. And they actually do spots with it. Now, mind you, this is a legitimate stick. This is a 2x4 with actual nails coming out of the wood. It is not gimmicked. It is a real piece of wood with actual spikes coming out of it. And two veteran talents. Edge has been in the business for over 30 years. Jon Moxley has been in the business for over 20 years. These two veterans did spots on the spike. One in particular was Jon Moxley taking a snap suplex on the spikes. How do I know that the spikes weren't gimmicked? Jon Moxley was impaled. Yes, he was legitimately stabbed in the back with some spikes. They impaled him in the back. Wheeler Yuta came out and attacked Edge, and he attempted to pull the spikes out of Moxley's back, and they were stuck in his back. The spikes were legitimately dug in his skin. These are two veteran talents wrestling for the World Heavyweight Championship in the middle of the card. And they did a spot like this in the middle of a card in a World Heavyweight Championship bout on TV. Afterwards, because they got the spikes out of Jon Moxley's back, the referee did. They were so dug in deep, Wheeler couldn't get the spikes out. He had to go do a spot with Edge with a table just to distract from the fact that the referee is actually having a hard time pulling this bat out of his back. Because for all intents and purposes, he legitimately was impaled in professional wrestling. I hope your parents didn't walk in the room and ask what the fuck is wrong with you. They should. I wouldn't blame them. They probably would ask me the same thing. If I was young, hell, not even that. If my girl walked in the room and see me watching this, she'd be like, this is the wrestling shit that you talk about, that you yell about, that you scream about on the day. Yeah. I'm embarrassed by it. But then they start to overbook it more. The rest of the Dick Riders make their return. Cesaro, Neville, they make their return. And they took out Edge. Eventually, FTR came out. And they try to help Edge. Edge inevitably spears Jon Moxley through a table that was propped up in the corner. He goes for a cover. Marina Shafir comes out and breaks up the cover and attacks Edge. Willow Nightingale comes out. She takes out Marina Shafir. In the process of all of that happening, Edge ends up taking a spot. He turns around. He kicks out of that spot. I think it was from Nick Wayne. Yeah, because obviously Christian's patriarchy has to get involved in the match. He spears one goofball. Nick Wayne hits his finisher, the jump up in the air cutter that everybody in professional wrestling does nowadays. The Cody cutter, if you want to call it. You can call it the OG cutter, because I know Javon Evans does the same thing too. And inevitably, Edge kicks out, and then Jon Moxley, he transitions that into the Bulldog choke, and Edge passes out. The Dick Riders ride off into the sunset, and then we get this random turn. Where did it come from? I don't know. Why is it happening? I don't know. They're trying to tell a story, but I don't give a shit about this story. Dax Harwood, he's angry. He's frustrated. Edge asks for him to help him up. He turns his back on Edge and walks out of the ring. Cash Wheeler catches up with him, asks what the hell is wrong with him. He's frustrated with him too, and he walks away. Gets back in the ring, Cash Wheeler that is, helps out Edge. I don't know where this turn came from. It just happened. AEW fans who clamor over this, you're hypocrites. This is some Vince Russo shit. This whole match was some Vince Russo shit, but that in particular was some Vince Russo-esque random fucking turn. You guys go after Vince Russo all the time. That was straight out of his fucking playbook. I want to hear any of those motherfuckers pray. I want to hear them praise it. Show your hypocrisy. Show your fucking hypocrisy. And then Edge gets a standing ovation. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? Everything about this match is everything wrong with professional wrestling. That's just it. Everything about this match is what's wrong with professional wrestling. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm not going to waste my energy yelling and screaming over this shit. Why? It's AEW. They don't know how to book. They don't know how to be creative. They don't at all have any wits about them to tell a story. So what they do instead, they use spots. They use spots to make up for the fact that they don't have a story. They use everything under the sun to make up for the fact that they don't have characters. And then they go out and then they do this shit right here. And they expect you to overlook the fact that the Dick Rider story is one of the worst stories in AEW history. They make you like Edge and Moxley. I don't even know if they even main evented a show outside of the pay-per-view in itself. And when they main evented this, or I'm sorry, I take that back. That's actually another problem too. As I talked about and illustrated earlier, they couldn't even main event for the World Heavyweight Championship on an episode of Dynamite. So what the fuck is the main event then? What the fuck is the main event? You got Will Ospreay and AR Fox having a match right now. What the fuck is legitimately the main event? I don't even, what's the rest of the card for tonight? I don't even know the rest of the card for tonight. You already did your opener for the Fatal 4 International Championship. You did Mercedes and Billy Starks. You had MJF already on the show. There's nothing else left on the card. I'm looking at the card right now. There's no way. There's no way. It's 9:37 right now, too. Like I said, AR and Will are going at it right now. There's no way. There's no way. Megan Bayne versus Chris Statlander has yet to happen on the card, and it's now 9:38. I'm actually speechless right now. There's no way. There's no way I'm going to sit here and accept that. There's no way you had 2 title matches, a number 1 contender match, one of your bigger stars right now wrestling. You put that all on the card. The main event is going to be Megan Bayne versus Chris Statlander. That's where we're at right now, folks. That's where we're at right now. You give us this disaster of a World Heavyweight Championship match. You mid-card your World Heavyweight Champion. You put all your top talent in the top of the card. In the main event, from what it looks like, because it's 9:39, it looks like it's going to be Megan Bayne versus Chris Statlander. What more can I say? I don't know what else to say. I'm done. I'm done with reviewing the show for tonight. If they don't want to main event the World Heavyweight Championship, then let me be the one to main event the World Heavyweight Championship. What else is there to review? Look at this shit. Look at Will Ospreay and AR Fox. They're just flipping around the ring. It's just acrobatics. It's just dumb fucking acrobatics. There's no display of anything going on. Tony Khan is the worst promoter of all time. I cannot stress this enough. I can't put into words how much of a disaster this guy is. He is a disaster. I can't stress this enough. He's a fucking disaster. This was a horrible show. This was a disgusting, dishonorable, terrible, garbage show. Everything about this show is everything that's wrong with professional wrestling today. I can't stress that enough. I need that to resonate with you people. This is the worst wrestling show in the history of the business. Look at what they're doing right now. Look at what they're doing right now. There's no rhyme. There's no reasoning. There's no substance. You're really going to let Megan Bayne and Chris Statlander main event your show over your World Heavyweight Championship. And people have the audacity. They have the gall. They have the nerve to tell you why this is a good thing. And why you should embrace all of this. A man is impaled. He is impaled. He is stabbed. The World Heavyweight Championship is mid-carding. You randomly throw in a turn, and your follow-up to this is having acrobatics, more acrobatics. Your women's match, you could have paralyzed your women's champion. All for what? Nothing. Your Fatal 4-Way match was just nothing but the same shit that we just seen right now with Will Ospreay and AR Fox. This show is horrible. I got nothing else left to say. I'm gonna let you guys take over, and I'm sorry that I'm ending it early, but there's nothing else left to go from here. There's nowhere else to go from here. There's nothing else left to do. Like I said, Tony might not win the main event as World Heavyweight Championship, so let me be the one to do it for him. As always, my name is Devontae, aka Millennial Smart, and I'll be catching you guys later. Just what a terrible promoter. He's so bad. He should be ashamed of himself. Deuces. P. Ice.